How's it going, everybody? Hopefully we're all enjoying our Friday. Welcome to the Serpent of Venus, the Venusian Covenant. I did today as a theme interpretation through a murder mystery translation, if you will. In whispers we govern, through the elements we obscure. In static we command, in nightmares we pursue. We are earth and air, we are fire and water. We are the remembered, and we are the returned. We are the whispers. In silence we thrive. I'm going to begin this murder mystery with an interpretation analogy standpoint of Venus sextile Mars. An esoteric murder mystery drawn on Venus sextile Mars in the 5th house, and having Lucifer act as Phosphorus as a mythos, which could have a plot centered around creative passion, forbidden romance, and the shadow side of self-expression. The setting. An exclusive artists commune, or an elite arts, we'll call it an elite arts academy, known as the Academy of Phosphorus. A name evoking creative enlightenment. The school is renowned for fostering transcendent creative expression, but is rumored to hide a darker history, with previous students and faculty having vanished under suspicious circumstances. Now, the murder occurs during the annual Sextile Gala, a celebration of artistic partnerships. The victim, Venus. The victim here in this story is a brilliant and charismatic artist, a kind of modern-day Aphrodite. Known for her magnetic charm and seductive art, she recently became involved in a secretive, passionate artistic collaboration with a fellow member of the commune, the Mars figure. Now, this collaboration was a transgression against the Academy's strict tradition-bound tenets. Her body is found staged in a performance art piece, and her artistic tools turned into murder weapons. The suspect is going to be Mars, the Mars character here. Now, the primary suspect is in the victim's artistic partner, a fiery and driven young talent with a reputation for intense, obsessive passion. He represents the Mars energy, the desire, action, ambition that sextiles Venus. He claims to be innocent, portraying himself as a tormented artist rather than a murderer. The astrological twist, Venus sextile Mars. This aspect typically signifies a harmonious relationship between desire, Venus, and action, Mars, where the creative and romantic drives align easily. In this murder mystery, the seemingly positive sextile becomes a cosmic misdirection. The harmony was not loving, but rather a dangerous, forbidden obsession that led to murder. With the 5th house, yes, it's 6th. The 5th house significance here is the 5th house ruling creativity, passion, pleasure, and romance. Now, the murder occurs with the context of an artistic partnership and a romantic entanglement. The killer's motive stems from a distorted view of love and art. He may have perceived their relationship as sacred, transcendent, and an act of creation, believed he had to immortalize it by turning it into a morbid masterpiece. Now, Lucifer is Phosphorus here. The suspect, like Lucifer, as a morning star, Phosphorus, if you will, is a light bringer who promises creative illumination but secretly harbors a destructive, transgressive side. The mystery revolves around peeling back artistic brilliance to reveal the darkness underneath. Now, the mystery and the climax here comes in where the detective must investigate the hidden connections between the artists and the Academy's dark history. Now, the key lies not in uncovering a secret rivalry, but in understanding how the harmonious sextile turned deadly. The detective realizes the murder wasn't a crime of passion, but a macabre act of artistic devotion, a twisted interpretation of love and creation, if you will. The killer believed he and the victim were fulfilling a higher fated destiny by creating a perfect final work. The killer's ultimate reveal is that he murdered the Venus figure to preserve her body and their love at its peak, rather than allowing the collaboration to end. On to the next story with Venus squared Lilith. I'm titling this one Lightbringer's Lie, Lilith's Legacy. Based on the astrological aspect of the Venus square Lilith in the 12th house, a theme of hidden betrayal, repressed desires, and secret enemies. Ooh. And a shadowy trust between corrupted and forbidden knowledge for wealth associated with Lucifer. The setup. The story is set with a secretive high society family whose immense wealth is managed through an obscurely named charitable foundation. The Morningstar Trust, we'll call it. The trust, founded generations ago, allegedly exists to promote enlightenment and spiritual awakening. Now, through this funding esoteric art and research, in reality, it serves as a more sinister purpose, providing a cover for the family's clandestine occult practices and their reverence for the Luciferian ideal of forbidden knowledge. The victim here, enter Venus. The victim is an elegant and beloved family matriarch, a prominent philanthropist, whose public persona is defined by her charm, her grace, and devotion to the arts. Venus themes, obviously. She is found dead in a secluded wing of the family estate, seemingly from an accident. However, the scene is subtly staged, and the investigating detective senses a hidden, malicious undercurrent. The victim was a Venus in the 12th house type, alluring, empathetic on the surface, but with secret emotional wounds, repressed desires, and a deep, perhaps unhealthy connection to her family's hidden dynamics. She had a secret that could expose the trust's sinister purpose. Now, the killer here, Lilith and Lucifer, primary suspect is a mysterious and ambitious woman who has recently entered the family's inner circle, if you will. She is the embodiment of the Lilith archetype, intelligent, independent, and possessing an untamed magnetism that challenges the family's rigid traditions. The square between Venus and Lilith suggests a fundamental conflict between the newcomer and the family's Venusian sense of values and harmony. She has a secret agreement with the shadowy Luciferian figure, a charismatic corporate occultist who manipulates from afar and craves control of the trust's vast assets and forbidden knowledge. The mystery in the climax leads the detective to navigate the family's web of secrets, uncovering the hidden conflict between the graceful facade, which is Venus, and the rebellious undercurrent, Lilith, that led to murder. The 12th house setting means that the truth is obscured by illusion, deception, and psychology games. Now, this is going to tie into my numbers later on, so stay tuned. The climax could reveal the victim, who is the seemingly innocent Venus figure. Not so pure, but her death was the result of a secret, emotionally manipulative rivalry with the Lilith figure and a conflict that turned deadly. The Luciferian figure was using the killer to gain control of the trust, not just for the money, but for the forbidden esoteric secrets he believed were hidden within the trust's vast archives. The victim's death was a sacrifice, framed to look like an accident, intended to secure the trust and its knowledge for the Luciferian purpose. The final twist reveals the killer wasn't after revenge, but was a patsy. Now, used by the ultimate manipulator, the Luciferian figure who promised her freedom and power, but used her darkest desires to get what he wanted. She became both a victim and a villain, ultimately undone by her own repressed fury and ambition, which she externalized through her square to Venus. That's the end of that one. I have a Venus trine Chiron, spoken as a murder mystery, with the plot being a perverted spiritual quest. The story is set with a clandestine spiritual community that outwardly promotes healing, connection, and spiritual transcendence, the Venus trine Chiron energy. The group is led by a messianic figure, a wounded healer, if you will, whose spiritual gifts and traumatic past are the center to the group's mythology, the anointed being of God. The group's apparent harmony is a facade. The leader's healing touch and compassionate nature are perverted by a shadowy Luciferian figure who manipulates the group from the outside, unbeknownst to the rest of the group. The ultimate goal is not spiritual enlightenment, but control of the anointed being's sacred energy and power. The murder. The trine, a positive astrological aspect, is the cosmic misdirection here. The triangle on the square. The group members, driven by their own unhealed emotion and relational wounds, conspire to kill their leader in a ritual they believe will transfer his powers to them. The murder is not only a crime of passion, but a macabre act of mutual distorted devotion. The harmony of the trine is twisted into a pact of complicity. The Luciferian twist. A mysterious occultist, the Luciferian will call him, convinces the group that the only way to truly heal their core wounds is to transcend their old spiritual order. They frame the murder of the anointed being as a necessary step towards claiming a forbidden, godlike power. The Luciferian uses the group's dependence on the healer to betray them all, knowing that their sacrificial act will trap their souls, leaving the way clear for the Luciferian to claim the true power. The mystery and the climax. A detective peels back the group's harmonious facade and uncovers the layer of betrayal and manipulation. This climax reveals that the nature of the group's healing uncovers the group was never healing, but was feeding off the leader's energy in a codependent fashion. Their healing journey was co-opted and corrupted to its very core. The Luciferian connection leads the detective to realize that the charismatic Luciferian figure was a manipulator all along, exploiting the group's spiritual wounds to gain control. The trine, as betrayal, illuminates to the detective, discovering that the harmony of the group's collaboration was not of a loving bond, but of a sinister pact. This ritual killing is the ultimate betrayal of the trine's potential for actual healing. The tragic ending leads to the group to learn that they were betrayed, with their healing replaced by a permanent spiritual wound, one they are now forever bound by to their transgressions, while the Luciferian has already moved on to the next one. We have, through Lilith, the 71st spirit of Solomon, Danteline, backtrack into confusion and illusions and causing delays or intentions to. Danteline is a mighty great duke of hell who commands 36 legions of spirits. And 36 has been a very, very prominent number today, and it came through as a message through the jackal as Anubis, speaking on the 9th deacon in the wheel of 36 deacons. Now, Danteline's power is his office includes several functions related to knowledge, influence, and illusion. He can teach all arts and sciences. He can declare the secret counsel and know the innermost thought of any person. He has the ability to change people's thoughts at will, causing mind manipulation, mental telepathy, psychic attacks. He can also cause love between people and create visionary likeness of any person and show it to the conjurer no matter where they are in the world. We need to keep in mind, though, misuse of this energy can lead to cognitive disease like early dementia or stroke and heart attacks, leading to intellectual disabilities. So we don't want to conjure up Danteline and send Danteline to somebody higher in the craft with more control over Danteline, because it might come back and smack you as a 20 or 30-some-year-old with dementia. Whoops. We've got Venus as a light bringer. We have 51 linked to Hahasya, the 51st angel. Now, Hahasya's name means God, the impenetrable secret. The biblical verse is associated with Psalms 104:31. The glory of the Lord shall endure forever. The Lord shall rejoice in his works. Hahasya is a member of the choir of the principalities, and his abilities are influenced to love abstract sciences and be attracted to the knowledge of nature, including animals, vegetables, and minerals. This angel is also associated with medicine and can assist in making discoveries useful to society. Additional power, Sahasya is thought to elevate the soul and reveal the mysteries of wisdom itself. It is said to govern chemistry and physics and to be able to reveal the secrets of the Philosopher's Stone and universal medicine to the holder of that divine being. That's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed my murder mystery interpretation of the planetary aspects. I'll see you in the next one.